Hey, what's going on, Bladers? The Crow. So, I participated in pretty much the only B4 G3 tournament that exists in Okinawa once a month. And I was really stoked that I actually won it. That blew my mind that I went in there and it's a 64 plus tournament. I mean, there was like, I think at least 67 players. And there are some top competing individuals that did participate. So I'm going to go over everything that happened before the semifinals. I do have footage of the semifinals and the finals. Unfortunately, when I was getting ready to leave, I had everything ready and set, but I forgot the tripod, so I didn't get any footage of like the tournament as a whole. I kind of just, decided to just play in the like little practice area for the majority of the time I was there. So for starters, the entirety of the tournament until the semifinals was utilizing the wide extreme stadium. So basically to, I guess, like hurry the tournament up, they decided to use that and have 3 players participate in each round and 2 get eliminated. So that way they can just go ahead and kind of breeze through everything. But it still took about 4 hours for the 64, 67 person tournament to conclude. So I don't think it really made much of a difference, but if it did, it did. But man, it took a long time for this tournament to conclude. Now, my thoughts on the 3-person stadium, I really don't like it in a competitive setting. There's so many variables that come into play, and you really need to alter your deck to really be a part of that format. You can only use one bay, so actually a majority of the people, if not everyone, was using Wizard Rod, to include me. I just think that that is the best alternative because you need to be the last bay standing because of his stamina and heavy weight. Wizard Rod is just the best choice. Unless you have a more custom like Phoenix Wing build, I mean, there's no way that you're really getting the attack type to win the overall, because you need to get to 5 points. And they could be the first round that you get an over finish, a burst, or an extreme finish, and bam, the first round is already won. So you really need to have something that can withstand all the heavy attacks if someone does bring an attack type, but you also need to have something that can just keep spinning. And yeah, that's where Wizard Rod comes in. Now, before I get into the footage of the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals, I'm gonna go over my deck real quick. Now, the first bay that I had in my lineup is going to be the Phoenix Wing. This one is going to be on a 560 rush. This is my main, my primary attack type bay. This thing is heavy, it hits extremely hard, and I do very deep tilts with it. So I really try and go for like the burst mechanic. So whenever I'm hitting it or when I'm launching it, it's in the stadium, and it's borderline the ratchet is going to be touching the stadium. So that way I can try to get those crit hits with these little points right here underneath the stamina bays, if there's even a defense bay. So I really just try to go for those burst hits. Now, the second bay in my deck is going to be the Wizard Rod on a 960 ball. This thing is the greatest bay in the format right now. Like, if you're not running a Wizard Rod, you're doing yourself a disadvantage. And I know people, they probably don't want to be the meta, the sweaty players and all that, but you really are fighting an uphill battle if you don't have one of these in your deck at least. And this I was pretty much maining as my primary bay up until the finals. So this thing pretty much won me the tournament, like single-handedly. And the last bay that I have that really did not get much of any kind of spotlight, but hey, I wanted to put it into the deck regardless, is the Dragoon. This one is going to be on a 360 point. It has been doing really good for me in the practice rounds over at the tournament, and just like me doing my own testing. So I really enjoy the Dragoon. This one is actually relatively heavy. I'd have to weigh it again, but I think it was like almost 38. I think it was exactly 38 grams. So it's a little bit heavier than my previous Dragoon, which was like 37.7. So really good for that, and I love the motif. I think it's a great bay, and it's really cool that in between the tournament, I'm switching out the launcher for the left string launcher. I think it looks pretty cool. All right, so that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and go into the footage.
All right, so just going to give a little bit of a commentary. So this, I believe, is the semi or quarterfinals. Yeah, the guy on the little kid on the left-hand side, the one in the white shirt, he actually placed 4th in the Fukuoka Grand Prix qualifier. So he is just like utterly good. Now the kid on the right, the black shirt, he is like equally as good. He knew the game inside and out, and yeah, he was just destroying every single person that I saw him play against. He's very, very serious. He was always just like in the zone. So seeing these two kids go at it, you know, it makes you realize that this game, if you're an adult, you're not at an advantage at all. These kids know what they're doing. They have great launch techniques. They know the meta, and you know they're bringing their A game. Now the kid in the white shirt did lose, but you know what? It is what it is. I think he still is placing 4th, or at least he's going to have a match after that. But I'm actually going against his mom. So, yeah, she is extremely good as well, but she did basically get an overfinish for herself. So, unfortunate, but, you know, it kind of is what it is. So now we're moving on to our second bay in the deck. I went ahead and utilized my Wizard Rod for this one. I forgot what she used. We'll see in a second. I think that's her own Phoenix Wing. So I think she was using Rush. Let's see. I really didn't go over all the footage, but yeah, my Wizard Rod's going crazy in there. So I think I'm just going to overall get the spin finish on her. Yeah, it looks like I'm just getting the spin finish. So that's going to put me at 3 points. Now for this one, I put all my energy into my Dragoon, and yeah, I was just like so nervous for this one. Yeah, launch technique was great, and look at that, got the burst and an over finish. So yeah, I kind of felt bad. So this match is actually for 3rd and 4th place. So it's funny because it's the mom and son going against each other. I believe the mom got 3rd, but yeah, like she's good. Like she's really, really good at the game. Because I was watching her play as well. Because I was sitting kind of where she is. There's a chair right over there. So for a good portion of the tournament, I was just kind of like hovering over there, watching all the contestants play. And yeah, it's really interesting seeing people's different launch styles and just exactly how they strategize their positioning in the stadium. The kid's launch is absolutely ridiculous. He does a weird windmill kind of thing after every launch, but it works for him. You know, he's a high tier competitor and does really well. So you see a Wizard Rod mirror match. This was going on pretty much throughout the entire tournament, and every tournament since Wizard Rod has been introduced, it's a little bit painful at times. I just kind of get tired of seeing Wizard Rod, but you got to utilize it. You got to play with the meta. Yeah, see, he does that little windmill. But yeah, unfortunate he didn't do that great in that match in comparison to how he was doing. Now this match right here, absolutely bonkers, man. I'm not gonna cut it or anything. We're gonna go through it in its entirety. But the kid in the black, this is it. This is the finals. So I won the paper scissors rock, and I was thinking that moment when I was thinking which position I want to be in, I felt like that was like a 10-minute thought process. But I decided to stay where I'm at. I've been practicing on the left side of the stadium more often. Because I really feel comfortable there now. I used to be on the right all the time, but now sticking to the left. So first bay is obviously going to be the Phoenix because I had a feeling he was going to go with an attack type as well. So I was really, really good on choosing that because I wanted to go with a Wizard Rod mirror. I felt like I would be more comfortable in a Wizard Rod mirror. So he used Dragoon, right? Yeah, he used Dragoon. So that was a good win for me. I felt very comfortable that my Phoenix was just going to absolutely destroy anything he was going to put out there, even if he put out a Wizard Rod. Just because my Phoenix Wing is kind of made to fight against Wizard Rod or any stamina types. So yeah, I predicted the Wizard Rod mirror, but you're gonna see it doesn't really go as well as I thought. So yeah, my launch is good, everything's fine. That was me going all over the stadium, so I think I just lost way too much stamina. Yeah, it's a Wizard Rod mirror. He's on a Hexa, I believe. I don't know what his ratchet was, but I'm pretty sure he's actually on a Hexa bit. So he's just doing really good right now. It's very close though at the end. You'll see it, but yeah, that big hit, it knocks me. He starts wobbling a little bit, but yeah, overall he does get it. Alright, so at this point we are going into the third deck, or the third bay of the deck. So obviously I'm switching out, I'm using my Dragoon. I forgot which one he uses. I'll have to see whenever he launches it. I completely forgot. But yeah, I was once. Oh, he used Cobalt Drake. So yeah, I'm just completely nervous, and I'm just like, I don't know how Dragoon's really gonna fare, but you'll see what happens in this one. It's pretty crazy. So Dragoon, he's on point. You know, I'm like, all right, he's in the middle. I'm at that point, I'm feeling I'm not gonna get any kind of over finish or extreme finish. So I'm like, okay, I gotta win the spin at least. And the judge is gonna call it a draw. And I was confused. I was like, I kind of feel like the kid maybe got it, but you know, the judge called it a draw, and I really wasn't gonna go and try and fight him. So at this point, because of the draw, we get to go in there and rearrange our deck. But I thought that I was kind of confused on what he was saying. I thought we just choose one. But at this point, you get to rearrange your deck however you want. But I'm thinking like, all right, I'm pretty sure Phoenix Wing is going to be the right choice to trying to get an extreme finish. And that's what I wanted. I wanted an extreme finish as much as possible. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to stay. Like, why would I choose anything different? I wasn't as confident in Dragoon, even especially after that performance. So I was like, you know what, Phoenix? You see the kid, he's, you know, he feels like that was not a good matchup. So he launches, he has Wizard Rod, and like I said, man, Phoenix is the Wizard Rod destroyer in my opinion. Look at it. You saw that? Wow, oh God, it was so beautiful. That was it was absolutely amazing. Phoenix Wing just going around and destroying it. Now I hate having to do it to this kid, bruh, because he already knew. He went ahead and chose Dragoon, and that was just not a great choice against the Wizard Rod. Like, it wasn't. So yeah, I was like, my Wizard Rod being the all I need is 1 point, and so I actually went outside the stadium. That's just a reset. I don't know what happened there. I guess I probably jerked my launcher a little bit too far, because I like to sit on top of the stadium. So yeah, he almost got me though. He almost got me with the over finish. But I mean, like I mentioned, this particular blade from the Wizard Rod is very heavy. So I just did good, and yeah, he kind of quit, man. He already knew. I really felt bad for the kid. He fought really, really hard. But yeah, it was pretty much over at that point.
So to conclude the video, this is it. I won the Gold Wizard Rod. This is such a beautiful bay. I am going to treasure it for my entire life. But now I got to try and get second and third place. That way I can get the ratchet and the bit. But I am still gonna keep trying to go for first place because I do want a second one. This thing's going for like 30,000 yen right now on auction houses in Japan, so it is a very, very. I think this right here, just the blade itself, perhaps. Might be the most expensive Beyblade X item. Well, no, because it'd be the red drawn Buster. That thing was only 100. That was given away, so that one's definitely the most expensive, coming in around like $2,000. But this one, you know, it's still very, very expensive. I hope I can get another one so that way I can actually have one to use. But I did weigh this in comparison to my other Wizard Rod, and they both weigh exactly the same. I think they were like 35.7 grams. So yeah, it didn't matter. This one weighed exactly the same as the one I actually used. But that's it for me, guys. I'm hoping that maybe this really just gives you a little bit more insight into the tournaments here in Japan, namely Okinawa. So if you do come to Okinawa, you know, you could definitely participate in one of these tournaments. Well, actually, just this one tournament, because every other tournament in Okinawa is the regular format, so that means it's just kids. This is the only open tournament in Okinawa that I know of as of right now. But that's it for me. Really hope that y'all enjoyed the video. You got a little more insight and maybe some tools for you to help customize your own deck in your own play style. But thank you all for watching, and you know, definitely subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for some more Beyblade goodness. See you guys later. Bye.